Hi, it's me again. I'm at this waterfront park along the Columbia River. I was led here by a tiny little frog that told me it dreamed of being a turtle before confessing that it was afraid of water. I think it was a princess, a frog princess. Strange that it was afraid of water. That's irrelevant. It's not what I'm here to talk about. I think maybe the subject of today's video should be my relationship with my publisher, Madness Heart Press. They are the publisher that's releasing my new novel, my third novel, Beneath the Unspoiled WIlderness, on December 16th, which is my birthday. So if you want to get me a birthday present, buy my book and review it and spread the word like a fucking illness. I'd be okay with that. Treat it like a disease and spread it thusly. My relationship with the fine folks at Madness Heart Press began during KillerCon 2020. It was a virtual event due to the pandemic conditions, and so I took advantage of that because I certainly wasn't going to be able to take a trip to Austin, Texas. So during the event, I met John Baltusberger, who is the owner of Madness Heart Press, along with his wife. KillerCon of 2020 was a transformative event for me. The experience led to quite a few changes in my life. My first novel I put out in 2011, so more than a decade before this video is being recorded. For the most part, I just kind of quit writing. There were occasional things here and there, some short stories, some longer projects I started and stopped. But it was also during that event that I ended up striking up a friendship with Carver Pike. In large part thanks to that, my second novel, Innocence Ends, got released in August of 2020 because fuck it, why not, huh? Back to what I was talking about. So I struck up a friendship with John. We talked about books, we talked about publishing, we talked about things like that. And then I ended up having a novella that I had written, and then in a flurry of activity, I ended up writing a novel manuscript within approximately a month, less than 2 months at least, after KillerCon was completed. That manuscript is what became Beneath the Unspoiled WIlderness. The novella was You Will Be Consumed. So the editor that I worked with, a wonderful woman named Lisa Lee Tone, she indicated to me that there was a publisher that she thought it would be a good fit for. She ended up suggesting Madness Heart Press to me, which I thought was serendipitous because John and I had a regular conversation back and forth about a variety of things, but I had never thought to pitch anything to him. And John thought it was funny when she suggested that she had somebody with a manuscript he might be interested in, because as it turned out, of course, he and I had been talking pretty regularly, and it had never even come up that I had anything that might be suitable. Things moved forward, and in May of 2021, You Will Be Consumed was released. John initially passed on Beneath the Unspoiled WIlderness. There were some changes that needed to be made as far as getting the story off the ground a little bit sooner. I just needed to get a hook in there. You know, like when you're fishing. You need to really get in there and penetrate. Yeah, that's the way to look at it. Penetration. It's all about penetration. We have had a good relationship since then. I'm, of course, a fan of John's work as both a publisher and as a writer himself, so I'm hardly unbiased. But I do still have to say that it has been a very positive experience overall, working with that particular small press. So, if anyone has manuscripts that they're looking to submit, I would have to recommend that you look at Madness Heart Press as an option. So, now we come to the present day and my new novel that's coming out. Beneath the Unspoiled WIlderness is, at its core, at the heart of it, inspired in large part by my love of slasher fiction, specifically camp slashers. Things along the lines of Friday the 13th, The Burning, Sleepaway Camp, those types of movies. But there's also an undercurrent of brutality and cosmic horror and revenge in the mix. There's I think, a well-drawn cast of characters. I like to think that I'd did a decent job of breathing life into these individuals that I very well may just snuff out shortly thereafter. But I think you'll get to know them and maybe even mourn them when the worst happens, because it's that type of story. The worst is bound to happen. I suppose that's about all I have to say. Again, buy my fucking book. Tell me happy birthday. Write a review. Spread the word. Again, spread it like a fucking disease. That's the only way any of us ever get anywhere, is by people spreading their disease. Fuck it. That's all I have to say. Have a wonderful day.